Hello, and welcome back, Radiant Souls, to Witchy Ways for Modern Days. This is your host, Brittany, and today's episode is getting into the next very fiery, very bright, also, apparently, one of the most anticipated episodes of the Zodiac series, which I probably should have guessed. We have a lot of listeners who are Leos, which that should not surprise me in the very least. A lot of you are very, very bright, witchy individuals. So, let's get into the hot topic of Leo. Now, we've been moving through the astrological wheel slowly. We've been moving through it with intention. Feeling each shift instead of rushing past it. We're trying to really delve deep into the wheel. So we started with Aries, which was the spark of life. Taurus was the one that gave the life body. Then Gemini gave voice. Cancer gave it home. And now something begins to rise. Because once you feel safe, once you feel held, once we've gone through Cancer energy, once you know where you belong, the next question in the wheel is inevitable. Will you let yourself be seen? And that question and its very strong answer belong always to Leo. Leo is ruled by the sun. It is the center of our solar system, the source of life, light, and vitality. Everything revolves around the sun, not because it demands attention, but because it naturally is the source. That is the essence of Leo all combined. Leo as a sign is not ego in the shallow sense that people do like to reduce it to, but it's the essence. It is the identity expressed without apology. It's a sign with creativity that pours out because it has to. It exudes. It's a radiating joy. It's very alive energy. It's energy that says, I'm here, I exist, I'm not going to hide that I exist. But for many people, especially those who were taught to shrink, taught to quiet themselves, people who automatically kind of dim their light for the comfort of other people, Leo energy can feel very intimidating to you. Because Leo is one that asks you to take up space. Not in an aggressive way, but truthfully, not forcefully. Now let's move Leo through the planets. We're going to pull up our birth charts, grab it if you haven't already. Look through your planets, see if you have Leo anywhere. And let's delve into those placements, so hopefully we can understand ourselves and other people a little bit more. Now let's start with Sun. When your Sun is in Leo, you are in your element. This is the sun in its home sign. Yours is an identity meant to shine. Not in a performative way, although it can be. It's more in a way that is a deeply authentic, personable way. Leo suns often have a very natural warmth, a magnetic presence, the desire to create something that reflects who they truly are. In magic, this is a placement that thrives in confidence work. Glamour magic's great for Leos. Creative manifestation, rituals that center on self-expression. The lesson here is going to be an understanding that true radiance doesn't require constant validation. You don't need external sources to validate you. Self-acceptance is going to be key. That's a key aspect for you. Now, when your moon is in Leo, yours is an emotional world that is very expressive. It's very passionate. It is deeply tied to recognition. You feel most safe when you are appreciated or loved openly and allowed to express your heart. There's kind of like this, it's an interesting childlike quality to this moon. It's not immature, not in any way immature. It's a purity that you maybe wouldn't expect. It's honest. In ritual work, this is a placement that will benefit from embodied magic. So movement, performance, dance, speaking intentions out loud, maybe creating things that are tangible. The shadow for this placement is going to be in seeking validation externally rather than nurturing yourself internally. Leo as a whole, in any planet, Leo is all about external validation. And so learning to be okay with the self is going to be vital for you with any planet in Leo. Now, if you have a Mercury in Leo, this is the communication sign, remember. So your communication style is bold. It can be expressive. It's often dramatic in the best of ways. Don't worry. You're one to tell stories. You captivate. You speak with a lot of presence. You have words that carry warmth, authority. In spell work, this placement thrives through spoken incantation, affirmations that are said with conviction, sometimes creative writing. The lesson is learning when to listen just as much as you speak. When your Venus is in Leo, I have this placement. I am not going to lie, when I first started learning about the zodiac and the planetary placements, I was not happy with this being my Venus. I have learned to grow into it. So when you have a Venus in Leo, it is a very grand, generous, passionate placement. You give fully. You love with your whole heart. You likely crave romance that feels alive, not routine, not dull. Appreciation is essential. What this means is that you are not someone who can be loved subtly. You require a partner that loves you loudly, without abandon, who is very, very loud and giving. You've seen things on social media that are like, I have a husband who's obsessed with me. My husband is obsessed with me. Does all this, da 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 da. Ladies, my heterosexual ladies, you require a husband that is obsessed with you, period. I was not happy with that, personally, as my little feminist self. You learn to get okay with it. So that's what you need if you are like me. So the shadow here is going to be an overgiving in hopes of being adored, or tying your worth to how much love you receive. If your Mars is in Leo, action is driven for you by your pride and passion. You pursue what excites you. You defend your sense of self fiercely. You're very protective. So there's a lot of courage here. It is a willingness to stand up and be seen even when it is uncomfortable. In magic, having a Mars in Leo is one that fuels powerful manifestation when your intention is tied to your truth. The lesson is going to be in balancing pride with humility. A Mars Leo does tend to be quite prideful, so you have to step back on that a little bit. Think about the self, think of others, then move forward with communication and energy. All right, let's take a quick pause, because if you are listening to this podcast, chances are your magic deserves tools that actually meet you where you are. If you aren't already aware, I am part owner of Winslow Naturals, a small, family-owned metaphysical shop creating handcrafted ritual oils, candles, sprays, soaks, and spiritual tools, each one made with intention, experience, and deep respect for the craft. These aren't mass-produced products. Every one of our blends is thoughtfully formulated for real-life magic, whether you're working with deities, doing shadow work, calling in abundance, or just protecting your peace in this chaotic world. I also offer personal tarot readings, aura readings, spirit guide confirmations, distance Reiki, and chakra healing sessions for those of you looking for deeper insight, energetic support, and one-on-one spiritual care. If you're ready to elevate your practice with tools, readings, and healing work from people who truly understand the craft, visit Winslow Naturals at winslownaturals.com or find us on TikTok, where we go live every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And if it's your first time ordering, you can use code Witchy Ways to get 10% off your first website order, because your magic deserves to be supported intentionally, ethically, and powerfully. When your Jupiter is in Leo, expansion will come for you through creativity and self-expression. So luck is often something that follows you when you take risks that align with your most authentic self. You grow by allowing yourself to be seen. Prosperity magic thrives here when it is tied to passion projects, creative ventures, leadership. There's a lot of management potential, boss potential with Jupiter Leo. If your Saturn is in Leo, there could be early life fears, concerns about visibility, creativity, self-expression. This might be a placement where, especially younger in life, you felt quite judged, or you felt overlooked, or discouraged from shining. But over time, this placement builds a profound sense of inner confidence. You learn to stand in your light with strength and not ego. Magic here benefits from consistent self-worth work and slowly reclaiming your voice. When Uranus is in Leo, creativity is a little bit unconventional here. You express yourself in ways that break norms, that tend to challenge expectation. There's a very rebellious artistry streak here. In ritual, this placement thrives through unique, personalized magic that refuses to follow rigid structure. Very, very fluid magic here. If Neptune is in Leo, your imagination blends with creativity and identity, so you might dream of being seen or respected, recognized, admired. But you somehow also struggle with clarity around who you truly are. The lesson is grounding your creative vision in authenticity, right? So it's magic that is tied to artistic expression and visualization. So seeing the self for who the self is. Really looking in that mirror. When Pluto is in Leo, transformation for you will center around power, identity, visibility. There could be deep experiences for you around control, issues with recognition, being seen versus being hidden by other people. This placement carries a very intense creative power, but it has to learn not to equate control with worth. Your shadow work will involve reclaiming identity without domination, right? Not letting your shadows overtake your light. Just be cautious. And now let's talk about the karmic access. If your North Node is in Leo, your soul is now learning to step into the spotlight of your own life. You may come from patterns of blending into groups, or prioritizing others, or avoiding attention. Growth will ask you to take up space, to create, to express, to lead from the heart. If your South Node is in Leo, being seen by others, that could feel really natural, but growth will ask you to consider the collective, to collaborate with others, to share the stage rather than owning it entirely. It's a very independent placement. You have to learn, it will be one of your lessons in this lifetime, to learn to exist as a we and not an I, in whatever capacity that ends up blooming. And now let's talk Lilith. When Lilith for you is in Leo, Now, you might have deep wounds around visibility and self-expression. You may have been taught that shining as a self was dangerous, that being too loud, too expressive, too much would just lead to rejection. Lilith in Leo refuses to accept that narrative, which it should. This is a placement that reclaims the right for you to be seen fully. Seen fully. Not in a way that seeks other people's approval, but in a way that honors your truth. Magic here is potent for reclaiming your confidence, for breaking shame around expression, for being yourself, for stepping into your unapologetic selfhood. As a sign, Leo teaches us something essential for both life and magic. That your energy is meant to be expressed. It's not meant to be hidden. It's not meant to be diluted or not constantly reshaped to fit what others find comfortable. No, your expression is creation. Creation is magic. Leo is about ultimately being yourself. It is truth embodied. Every time you show up as your authentic self, you are casting a spell. Every time you create something from the heart, words, presence, connection, you are channeling life force. But life requires balance, and Leo teaches us balance. True radiance does not need to dominate. It doesn't need to prove itself. It simply is. And when you allow yourself to embody that energy without shrinking, without overcompensating, just being truthful, your presence becomes magnetic in the most natural way. In the next zodiac episode, we are going to move from this fire sign into Earth again. But a very different kind of Earth than Taurus. We're going to move into Virgo. We will go from Leo's expression to Virgo's refinement. From shining in the sun to reshaping the earth. I'll see you next time in that episode. I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful rest of your week, friends. Blessed be.